3, 2, 1, go! How would you like $8,000 for free? $8,000. Now, if you don't have a job and you make no income, just click on off because this has nothing to do with you. But if you do have a job, you can get $8,000 for free. You can actually get $5,000 or $6,000 or $7,000 or $10,000. And if you make a lot of money, like $300,000 a year or something like that, it would be even more. So, how do you do it? It's the simplest thing in the world. I keep telling people to do this and they look at me like I'm crazy. So this is how you do it. You have a job, you want the free money. This is what you do. You give me a call, I hook you up with a lender that'll allow you to stick it in an RSP. Now remember, I sell houses for a living. So I want to sell you a house, but you don't have a down payment. How do you get that down payment? This is how you do it. This lender is only for Alberta. So I'm sorry if you live in other provinces, you'll have to do it the old way. And I can help you with that too. Or if you're a realtor somewhere, I'll help you with that. They'll lend you the money. You stick it in your RRSP. Registered Retirement Savings Plan. Ads all over the place about it. At the beginning of the year, they push it big time and there's articles galore about nobody uses it. You know why nobody uses it? Because nobody realizes they can get free money. So you put the $20,000 in there, you make sure you pay for it in 4 years. Never take longer than that. I don't know you if you do longer, okay? You should actually do 3 years, but I'll settle on 4 because it's your first time. You put the money in the RSP. At the end of the year, you're going to have a $20,000 reduction to your income. So if you make $100,000 a year, you're down to 80. If you make 50, you're down to 30. If you're 30, you're down to 10. If you make 30, you're not going to borrow 20 grand to do this. There's no benefit to that. You'd never go over 10 because, well, you get the first 20 grand tax free. You take the money, put it in the RSP. Get the money back. I did up a chart. I have to go get the chart. Here's the chart. Now, with the lighting, there's probably a circle on here and a light here and whatever it is. But if I can get this right, if you make 50K, get back 5187. This is Alberta. Okay? If you live elsewhere, it's more money. We're the lowest taxed environment going. 100K, 6474. If you're married and your wife does not make more than $15,000 a year, you will get back $8,062 if you make $50,000 a year. And if you make 100 grand a year, you'll get back $10,137. If this number's higher, this is a lot higher. And if you live in other provinces other than Alberta, it is just amazing how much money you get back. Because in Alberta, the tax is really low. There's only one province that beats us. That's right, if you make $100,000 a year, there's only one province in all of Canada where you would pay less tax than you do here. And that's because they have 8 tax brackets. In Alberta, we only have 4. And it's 10% all the way up to $129,000. Get your personal exemption, it's only 10%. Everyone else, they have 4, 6, 8, 12, 16, 17, 18, 20. Oh, it's just ridiculous. So just remember, free cash. Now that you've got, I'm going to do this. How do you go about doing it? Well, I'll tell you how you go about doing it. First, you get a hold of me. And I don't care if you're going to buy a house or not. You really should buy a house if you don't own a house. I did a video on where you should rent or buy. You can click down there and through the videos and you can find it. You should really do this. If you make money and you can afford to pay this off, the government's going to give you the $8,000. You take that and you put it on the loan. You don't ever spend your tax return. I tell people this over and over and over again. You get a tax return, you do not spend it. The tax return goes either back into the RRSP or you pay the loan off. Here's a hint. If you put it back into your RSP, eventually your tax return is larger than that original payment you were making into your registered retirement savings plan. And I know this is a little off subject, so let's do it real quick. Say you got $200 a month. You don't make a lot of money, but you put $200 a month into your RSP. If you put $200 a month into your RSP, that's $2,400. You're going to get back, on average, about 35% of that. You get back your 35%, you stick it into the RSP. The following year, guess what you're going to get back? See, you only put in $2,400, but you didn't. You got back 35%. You put that in there, plus your $2,400. Now you get back 35% of your $2,400 and 35% of your tax return. You're getting 35% return on your money, plus another 35% on the 35% on the return of your money. This is called compounding interest. Now, I'm going to use the example of $2,500. If you put $2,500 in your RSP, you'll get back 35% of that. Let's say you work at a company that matches your RRSP. And I have run into a lot of people this year. Companies offer this. This didn't exist when I was in the corporate world. Companies match it. In fact, I know of one company that gives you $1.50 for every dollar you put in. I'm just like, this is crazy. If you put $2,500 in your tax return, the company puts $2,500 in your tax return. You get back $750 on the $2,500. I'm assuming you make under $50,000 a year here. And you stick that in the tax return. 25, 25, 750. 130% return your first year. I don't know anyone that can do 130% return in their first year. You doubled your money and then some in 1 year. Most financial advisors will tell you that takes 10 years. And in this wonderful world of terrible interest rates, it's going to take you longer than that. So why wouldn't you want to take advantage of 130% return your first year and every year you work where you're working? And honestly, if they give you 5% of your salary, which a lot of these places do, if you haven't signed up to the maximum of that 5%, there's something wrong with you. If you make $100,000 a year and you get that 5%, that's $5,000. What can you do at $100,000 that you can't do at $95,000? If you're making $95,000 a year, I think there's nothing you can't do. Home buying is going to be the same. Everything that you do is going to be the same. So why aren't you doing it? You put $5,000 in, your company puts $5,000 in, you get your tax return on the $5,000. If you're at $100,000, here, that's almost 40%. That's $2,000. Now you put 5 and you got 12. Who wouldn't want to do that? Put $5,000 in and have $12,000 at the end of the year. Think about it. You really should do it. So back to the free money. So hopefully I didn't lose y'all on the free money thing. That's how you do it. You contact me, I get hold of the bank, they set you up, they give you the loan, they put it in the RSP for you, and then if you want to buy a house, within 3 days of doing that, you can take the money out of the RSP, pay no tax, and go buy a house with it. And if you're a first-time buyer and you're kind of thinking, hey, I want to do this, you can buy a really nice $200,000, $250,000 property. You don't have to go crazy. Let's build some equity. And that's how you get your free money. It's really simple. I don't know why everybody's not doing it. When I wanted to do this back in the 80s, interest rates were 22%. And that's why nobody ever did it. And that's just now we're here 2019 and nobody wants to do it. Hope you enjoyed this video and I look forward to meeting you in the future. And don't forget to enter that contest. Somebody's going to win.